A very good afternoon to all of you. Am I audible to all? Yes. Is PPT visible to all? Okay. No problem. Okay. See, today we have the lecture of physical chemistry. Yes. Okay. And in last lecture we have completed or we have discussed about the molecular orbital theory. Yes. Okay. In that molecular orbital theory, we have completed the linear combination of atomic orbital, which is used, or this method is used for the representation of the molecular orbitals. We know that molecular orbitals are formed by the combination of two half-filled atomic orbitals from the two atoms. Okay, and in that, after all, the electrons are added in that particular molecular orbitals. Okay, in last lecture we have also discussed about the features of molecular orbitals, then what are the bonding molecular orbital, anti-bonding molecular orbital. Okay, then again, what is the molecular orbital energy level diagram. Okay, because this diagram is used to represent the energies of molecular orbitals. Okay, and in that we know that the 1s 2s then 2px then 2py, these orbitals mix with each other to form a new molecular orbital. Okay, and from this we have prepared the molecular orbital energy level diagram. Okay, and in last lecture I think we have started just the examples of molecular orbital energy level diagram. Okay, or simply examples of the molecular orbital theory. In your syllabus there are four examples. Okay, hydrogen, nitrogen molecule, oxygen molecule, and En2 molecule, and fluorine molecule. Okay, out of these four we have completed the two examples, that is the hydrogen molecule and nitrogen molecule. Okay, just see the PPT. Okay. Okay, see. Okay, yes, in this example we also draw the molecular orbital energy level diagram. See, first example, that is the hydrogen. Okay, I think I have gave the two example for your homework. Okay, have you completed the homework? Yes. Okay. Okay. All are you are I think able to solve that particular two example. Okay, example of oxygen as well as the fluorine molecule. Okay. Just try to understand what I tell about that particular examples also. Okay. Just see first example H2. Okay. In that we know that whatever the valence electrons present in that particular, only that valence electrons we have to add the uh, in molecular orbitals. Okay, see hydrogen having atomic number 1, total electrons are 2. Okay, therefore first we have to fill it into the that molecular orbitals, that is the sigma 1s2. Okay, and again we have to calculate the bond order. What do you mean by the bond order? Bond order is nothing but the number of covalent bonds present in diatomic molecule. Okay, and if the bond order is 1, it means that it is having the one single covalent bond. Okay, see, this is the molecular orbital energy level diagram. Okay, for this hydrogen. Okay, then see. Okay, then next example we have taken the N2, that is the nitrogen molecule. Okay, atomic number is 7, total electrons are 14. Okay, but see, whenever we compare whenever we take the electrons, okay, for calculating the bond order, only consider the valence electron. Okay, do not consider the electron present in the inner shell, that is the first shell, that is the 1s2 sigma 1s sigma star 1s2. That electrons leave aside, don't consider them in calculating the bond order. Okay, this is very important. Okay, if you also consider the electrons from that particular inner shell, first shell, okay, then bond order will be wrong. Okay, you do not get the answer, correct answer of that particular bond order. Okay, therefore just remember. Okay, and after that we have to mention the properties of that particular molecule, whether it is diamagnetic or paramagnetic. Okay, whether it is having the highest bond dissociation energy, or what is the stability, what is the reactivity of that particular molecule. Okay, but it then next, see, this is the molecular orbital energy diagram for En2. Okay, see the next example. Okay, okay, I will explain these two examples. Just check whether you have solved it correct or not. Okay, just check what steps are wrong with you. Okay, see first third example is the oxygen O2 molecule. Okay, see, we know that the atomic number of nitrogen is 8. Then total number of electrons in two oxygen atom, 8 plus 8, it is the 16. Okay, because the oxygen molecule is formed from the two oxygen atoms. Therefore, we have to consider the total electron from these two atoms. That is the 16. Okay. Then general ground state electronic configuration of oxygen is 1s2, 2s2, 2p4. Okay, see here. Okay, if we consider the only valence shell, okay, that is the 2s and 2p. Okay, valence shell is the 2 shell. Okay, that is the number of 2. It is its valence shell. Okay, then therefore in valence shell how many electrons are there? These 2 from the 2s and 4 from this 2p. That is the total 6. Okay, means in one oxygen atom there are 6 valence electrons. Okay, and when we combine the valence electron of both these atoms, there are the total 12 electrons. Got it? There are 12 electrons. Okay, and we have to add these 12 electrons in the molecular orbitals. Okay, whatever these molecular orbitals. See, got it? Okay, we do not consider this 1s2 electron. Okay, these are present in the inner shell. Okay, only we have to consider the valence electrons while filling that electrons in the molecular orbital. Okay, then see, these electrons are filled in molecular orbitals in the following manner. Okay, see, Kk represents the inner shell. That is the, you can also write sigma 1s2, sigma star 1s2. That star represents the antibonding molecular orbitals. Got it? Okay. Then Kk represents the sigma 1s2, then sigma star 1s2. Okay. Then sigma 2s2, sigma star 2s2, sigma 2px2, pi 2py2, pi 2pz2, pi star 2py1, and pi star 2pz1. Okay, see, while writing this electronic configuration or while filling this electron in molecular orbiter, we must follow the rules. Okay, above principle, Pauli substitution principle, and Hund's rule. Okay, see, Hund's rule is very important. Okay, because according to Hund's rule, these antibonding pi star orbital, that is the pi 2py and pi 2pz, they are having the equal energy. Okay, therefore the electrons are added according to Hund's rule. Means first electron added singly in this both antibonding orbital and then pairing takes place. Okay, means we don't write the two electron, that is pi star to py2. We don't like write this. Okay, means the electrons are added in both antibonding orbitals singly and then pairing takes place. Okay, then calculate the bond order. Okay, Nb equals to 8. Where what is the Nb? Number of electrons present in bonding orbital, and Na, number of electrons present in antibonding orbital. Okay, then see, there are 8 electrons. Okay, and while calculating the Nb and Na, only consider the valence electron. Okay, don't consider or don't count the electron from this K first shell, that is the sigma 1s2, sigma star 1s2. Okay, see, there are total 8 electron bonding electron, and Na is the 4 electron. Okay, that is the sigma star 2s2 and pi to py1, pi to pi star to pz1. 1 1 2, these are 2, that is the 4 electron. Okay, and while calculating we get the answer 2. Okay, just see the formula, half bond order equals to half Nb minus Na. Okay, half 8 minus 4, we get the answer 2. Okay, it means that the value of bond order is 2. It means that the oxygen having the 2 bond, or in oxygen molecule 2 oxygen atoms are linked by double covalent bond. Got it? Okay, and see, in the pi star to py1 and pi star to pz, there are one unpaired electron, means there are the 2 unpaired electrons are present. Therefore it is the paramagnetic in nature. It is paramagnetic in nature. Okay, see in N2. Okay, see in N2 there is no any unpaired electron, therefore it is a diamagnetic. Okay, but whenever we consider the O2, okay, here it consisting of the 2 unpaired electron, therefore it is a paramagnetic. See next, presence of 4 antibonding electrons in oxygen molecule explain its less stability or higher reactivity than nitrogen molecule having 2 antibonding electrons. See, whenever, okay, means if there are more antibonding electrons are present in that molecule, it means that it is highly reactive. Okay, highly reactive means less stable. Okay, do you know that interconversion or that interrelationship between that? Okay, means more stable, less reactive. Okay, if higher reactive, it is less stable. Okay, and C means oxygen molecule is less stable than the nitrogen molecule because of the more presence of the antibonding electrons. Okay, presence of the more antibonding electrons than in the nitrogen. Okay, therefore the oxygen molecule is less stable or highly reactive than the nitrogen molecule. Okay, okay, yes. I understood this example O2. Then we have to draw the molecular orbital energy level diagram. Okay, okay. Have written the electronic configuration. Okay, just okay. Then draw this molecular orbital energy level diagram. Draw this molecular orbital energy level diagram. See, okay, 1s2. These are the bonding orbitals, and middle one they are horizontally placed. Okay, they are the antibonding molecular orbitals. Okay, 1s atomic orbital. Okay, they form sigma 1s2, sigma star 1s2. Just mention the number of electron. Here sigma 1s2, sigma star 1s2. Okay, then here sigma 2s2, sigma star 2s2. Just write the number of electrons. Okay, 2s2. Okay, then sigma 2pz. Okay, you can write sigma 2px. Okay, because in previous, okay, we have write here sigma 2px. Okay, therefore also write here sigma 2px instead of the sigma 2pz. Okay, and here write the pi 2py, pi 2pz. Okay, no matter. Okay, and just represent the number of electron also. Okay, and here pi star 2py, pi star 2px, or pi star 2py, pi star 2pz. Okay, it is having, see, these two orbitals are degenerate orbital. What do you mean by degenerate? Having the same energy. Okay, therefore the electron are added first singly, then pairing takes place. Okay, okay. See, after, okay, understood? Okay, example of oxygen molecule, it's a molecular orbital energy level diagram. Okay, see, then next, fluorine molecule, last example of this theory, that is molecular orbital theory. Okay, that is the fluorine molecule F2. Okay, just see. Okay, the atomic number of nitrogen is 9. Okay, then total number of electron into nitrogen atom, sorry, here it is the fluorine atom. Okay, see, it is the 9 plus 9 is equals to 18. Okay, then ground state electronic configuration is the 1s2, 2s2, 2p5. Okay, 1s2, 2s2, 2p5. See, only consider the valence electron present in the valence shell. Okay, there are 7 electrons. Okay, 5 plus 2, it is 7. 7 plus 7, 14. Means here we have to uh, fill the that 14 electrons in these molecular orbitals. Okay, and see the order, how we can fill that electrons in the particular molecular orbitals. Okay, see, okay, kk represents the also 1s, sigma 1s2, sigma star 1s2. Then sigma 2s2, sigma star 2s2, then sigma 2px2, pi 2py2, pi 2pz2, pi star 2py2, pi star 2pz2. Okay, see, whenever we again consider this example. Okay, or again when we fill up the electron, okay, in that particular fluorine molecule, also first fill the electron in this pi 2py and pi 2pz. Okay, singly. Okay, electron first fill singly, and then pairing takes place. Okay, see, okay, then count the number of electron, bonding electron, and also count the number of anti-bonding electron. Okay, there are 8 bonding electrons. Okay, and there are 6 anti-bonding electrons. Okay, and calculate the bond order. After calculating the bond order, we get the answer 1. Okay, we get the answer 1. Okay, it means that, okay, because we know that bond order is very important. Okay, means bond order of 1, 2, 3, it represents the number of covalent bond, that is single, double, triple respectively. Okay, and here fluorine get the value 1 bond order, it means that it is the having single covalent bond. Okay, then find out the whether the electrons are paired or unpaired. Okay, and just see in the last molecular orbital. Okay, that is the pi star 2pz. There is no any unpaired electron. Okay, all electrons are paired. It means that it is dimagnetic in nature. Got it? Okay, it is dimagnetic in nature. Okay, see, this is the molecular orbital energy level diagram. Okay, see again. See here, the only means this diagram starts from the 2s atomic orbital. You can draw the 1s atomic orbital like that. See, okay, 1s, 1s. Okay, please mention that particular 1s atomic orbital also. Okay, when you draw molecular orbital energy diagram for any example, okay, just start from this particular 1s atomic orbital. Okay, but in case of hydrogen, okay, there is no need to draw the other atomic orbital. Okay, you can simply write draw this particular molecular orbital energy level diagram for the hydrogen like this. Okay, only show its 1s atomic orbital. Okay, but whenever you draw for the oxygen, nitrogen and fluorine molecule, okay, represents the 1s atomic orbital as well as sigma 1s and sigma star 1s molecular orbitals in the molecular orbital energy level diagram. Okay, see, okay, see in fluorine molecule, okay, sigma again, sigma 1s, sigma star 1s2 just represents the number of electrons here, right? Sigma 1s2, sigma star 1s2, then sigma 2s2, sigma star 2s2, then sigma 2px2. Okay, here it is z. Okay, you can write also it is the sigma 2px2, then pi 2py2, pi 2p z2. Okay, just represent the number of electrons. Okay, yes, okay, have understood all the examples of molecular orbital theory. Okay, or it is a molecular orbital energy level diagram. Any doubt is there? No. Okay, see these examples. Okay, bond order is very important, because bond order we know that is directly proportional to bond dissociation energy, or it is inversely proportional to bond length. Okay, and it also explains the stability of that particular molecule. Therefore, bond order you have to consider it correct, okay, or you have to calculate it correct for any example. Okay,